Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. My name is Heidi, and you can find me on Ravelry as Knitty Girl and on Twitter and Instagram as Knitty Girl 1. How's everybody doing? It's been a while. Last few weeks have been kind of crazy. School's finished, and this week I went to Louisiana for about a day and a half, and I drove there. It takes about 6 hours for me to get there to go to my grandmother's memorial, and also to get a chance to see my other grandmother who is in the nursing home right now. So it was really nice to see them, and I also got to see my brother, and I haven't seen him for 2 years, so that was nice. And also my godson, who is his first son, was there too. So it was really nice to see my family. And then I started coming back, and I came back Saturday. I had a class at the local yarn shop where my yarn is, the Happy You. And we had a class with Ann Podolacek, and it was a color work class. So she gave us a bunch of mini skeins, and we also talked a little bit about the color wheel, and we did some swatches, and one of them I really love. She would tell us to pick something we liked or didn't like, and then we would work with either a contrasting color or a color that was nearby on the color wheel. So this is my favorite swatch that I ended up with. I love this one. It's got 2 blues and an orange and then that bright yellow in the middle. I love the way those colors came out. Anyway, now I have a little bag of mini skeins, which is great. So I have a bunch of stuff to play with. And I also bought her her new book. She has 2 books out now. I think one was Legendary Knits 3, because I have 1 and 2. And this one is the 3rd one. Oh no, this is not the 3rd one. This is a different one. This is called Carnaby Street. And this is different from the other things she's put out. It's got a lot of bright colors in it, and you can see the model also has really bright red hair, and I'm hoping to dye my hair actually that color soon. This is neat because it uses a lot of her transitional skeins. I'll just show you a couple of the patterns. She has this transitional skein packs that she sells, and there's one that I saw the sample for that I really liked, and I want to knit it. I may use my transitional skeins for it. These are the Soho socks, and they really, in person, I don't think this picture does them justice. In person, the colors are so beautiful and subtle. It's such a, I just love the way that they go together. So it's nice. Now I have, I also have all those mini skeins too, so maybe I can put a bunch of them together in one of the projects. There's a lot of slim shawls, there's some socks, there is a sweater, and I believe you would probably use the skeins for the top part of the sweater. Let me see if there's a full picture, but I don't know if I can show it to you really without showing the pattern too. So that's just the top. The rest of it is a blue. So anyway, that's Carnaby Street by Ann Podolacek, and check it out. And I also, well, I might as well do, not all of my enabling, I'll do what I bought at the yarn shop. Also, while I was there, I do have her Legendary Knits 1 and 2, and there's a shawl in the, I think it's in the 2nd book. I believe it's called the Arachne shawl that I really would like to knit. And I saw her yarn in this color, and I had to have it because every time I see anything this color, I want it. So I think this will be a beautiful shawl, and I love the put up is very different. It's silk, merino silk and yak, and it's 400 yards. So I got 2 of them so I can make a big shawl. Now I just need to get some beads. I know I bought some beads before that would probably look nice with this, but I was saving those to make a different shawl, so We shall see. We shall see. How silly. Anyway, it looks like my tea is ready now. I'm drinking chrysanthemum tea again today. I think I told y'all about that. It's my favorite kind of tea at the moment. You can get it at the Asian market here, and it's you're just buying chrysanthemum buds, dried chrysanthemum, and it looks yellow when it's ready. And somebody asked me to describe the taste. I can't really think of a way to describe it. It doesn't really taste like other teas. I don't know. I have to think about that. I probably should figure out a way to describe the taste. I really like it. Anyway, let's move on to works in progress. And I have 3 works in progress. The first one I think I may have shown before. This one is the Skylark Scarf by Jessie Raggett, and I am crocheting this using a Brittany hook. Let's see what size I'm using. I'm not always very good about telling y'all what needles or hooks I'm using, but I figure you can look in the pattern because I usually do whatever the pattern says. This is an H hook. I like the Brittany hook, but it's really long, and I tend to crochet with my hands all the way up here, so there's like a lot of extra I don't really need. And this is in Undead yarn in the Autism Awareness colorway, the one that I dyed and for some reason did not end up getting a lot of red on it, so that red pink color, so I decided to keep it. I love, look, that's coming, the stitch, you can see the stitch definition in that. I really like the way this is crocheting up. I don't have many yarns that are kind of speckled like this, so it's kind of been fun for me to work with something a little bit different. And I do have one more skein of Autism Awareness in the shop, and at the end of the month I'm going to take it down because then the Autism Awareness knit along, crochet along will be finished. So if you would like it, go ahead and grab it before the end of the month because, like I said, at the end of the month I'm going to take it down. And that is in my Silver Shed bag. That's one. And then this one I just started, I think a little bit after school was out. And this one is in a Roadkill colorway, and this is also with the Vom Fury yarn that I'm using. It's my merino. I don't know if you can really see the color on that. Let me get it closer. It's a brown color, and that's showing up kind of pinkish. But it's brown. Let's see if I move this. It's brown. It's interesting. It's not showing up the right color at all. At least not on my camera. Sometimes when I go back to look, it does show correctly. And this is, I'm knitting the Capelet cowl, and that is by, I wrote it down in my notes, Ellen the Quarry. And, well, it's called Gracie's Lace Capelet. It's not a cowl. It's a capelet. And let me see, I believe I can show the picture here because I don't think the pattern is on the first page. And this is what it looks like. It uses 400 plus yards of fingering weight, and so that is what I am using to knit my capelet. So that's my second work in progress. It's so weird the color showed up so differently. I'm going to move this back here so you can see me. And my third thing that I'm working on is in my little bag that I made for myself. My first bag that well, no, I do have another bag I made myself. I forgot about that a long time ago in the sewing class. This is Jinx yarn. I love her new logo. Isn't that cute? And this is the single merino, and it is 400 yards, superwash merino, single, and this is in the Woolen Jinx colorway. I think the colors are showing up. And it's really, really beautiful the way that they dyed this. Jinx and Kristen from the Yarngasm podcast knitted it. And I had a little mistake at the beginning, and I decided I'm just going to keep going. So this is like my lightning boomerang. I found this pattern on Steve of Dramatic Knits. He has knit several boomerangs, and he just kind of put a recipe in his project page, so I'm copying that, and I'm finding that every time I knit a side-to-side shawl, I always screw them up. But I figure when I wear it, you're not gonna notice that when I'm wearing it, except for my little lightning edge, but I kind of like that. So I'm gonna keep going, and I'm almost done. I started this right after school was out, and this is all I have left. I'm planning to use as much as possible. So that is my third work in progress. And the only FO I have is in spinning. I did another skein of the Gradient Knits yarn with the domestic wool. The gray was the domestic wool, and I'm applying that with this rainbow Gradient Knits yarn. So this is my second skein. So now I have 2 skeins of it. I think I'm probably, hopefully it won't be more than 2 more bobbins to finish it up. But I like to do this while I'm watching movies with my husband on Friday nights. So I'll get to do that. Actually, I may do that tonight, because I think we're gonna watch Orange is the New Black. I haven't started watching the 3rd season. We decided to wait until we could both watch it together. So I'm looking forward to that. That show cracks me up. It's really pretty raunchy, but it's funny. Okay, I guess what I'm going to do now, since I just showed you what I was working on, I'm going to go into the enabling. I'll show you what else I bought besides the Willy Wonka fibers. And it's been a while, but I guess I'm kind of proud of myself. I don't have tons of stuff in here, which is wonderful. I feel like when school ended, I just wanted to buy stuff, but I already have so much. I mean, I'm at Sable, definitely, which is stash. What is it, stash? Already beyond life expectancy. I definitely am at that, but I can't stop buying. Even though I dye yarn, I still love to buy other people's yarn too. This is the first yarn I bought from Woolen Vine, and she's Kristen on Ravelry, or she might be Woolen Vine on Ravelry. She has a podcast, and she is also a yarn dyer. And I decided I really liked that single merino colorway that she did with Jinx, so I've been kind of watching her shop, and this one came up, and I like it. It's also a little bit out of my comfort zone because I don't usually buy greens, but I love sparkle. But it has my orange in there, but it's with the green and gray, and I probably would never dye those colors together, but I think they're lovely. And this is called her Blitzed base, and it looks like she probably uses a similar base, the same base I do for her sparkle yarn. It's 75, 20, and 5 merino, nylon, and stellina, and it's 438 yards. So this is from Woolen Vine. I bought that. And I have always loved Trillium fibers, black Trillium fibers, and she has started dyeing. She used to just dye. I think I really liked her because she would dye things that had a lot of color in them. And she has recently, well, not recently, probably the last few years, really got into dyeing gradients. And so I have been watching her gradients, but they're expensive. You know, a lot of the gradient packs people put together are expensive, but she had a coupon code, and I said, I have to do it. I wanted an orange gradient, and this one is kind of orange, but it's more brown. But they're still my colors. I love orange and brown and yellow. Those are my favorite colors. The colors that a lot of people don't really care for. But I like them, and I think they also complement me, so they look nice on me. So I finally did go ahead and buy one of her gradients. And this one is called the Scotch Gradient, and it goes from, this is like a light orange, and then they get darker, and it goes to an orangey brown, and this is like, it's almost not even brown, it's almost burgundy. It's not burgundy, but it's like a brown that seems to have purple overtones. It's really beautiful. And this, I know, will definitely be a shawl. I'm not sure which one yet. It's about 500 yards, maybe a little bit more. So it could be a nice, it could be a bigger shawl, not a shawlette, so I'm looking forward to that. And what was really cool, it came with this needle finder, which I love. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful one. I think I have a needle finder that came with my Addy Click set, and then I have some cheapo one that probably came with my, I think it came with some Bates purchase I made. But this one is lovely. Oh, I just love that. That was such a surprise to get that in the package. I think that is a wonderful, wonderful thing to give out when people buy your stuff. It's really pretty. And it says black Trillium fibers on it. So those are my things that I bought. I did buy some more, but I just bought it yesterday, so I'll tell you guys about that when it comes in. I'm actually pretty excited about it. And it's commercial yarn, believe it or not. But has colors I haven't seen before put together that I would dye them if I could, but black is kind of hard to, when you dye with it, it's kind of tricky when you put a lot of colors together. So anyway, I will show you guys those when that comes in next week. What I wanted to do next is, first I have two winners I want to talk about. The person who won for the shawl along, who had won a skein of my yarn, never contacted me, so I pulled for a new person to win. And the person who won is Kay Bryson 77, and she's Christy from North Carolina. So contact me. You have a month to contact me and let me know what you would like from my shop. And I'm going to say that you can pick anything that's in the shop. I'm not going to do a custom colorway. You can pick anything in the shop, except I'm going to be doing some gradient sets myself, and those take a lot of work, so that will not be available for you to pick, but you can pick anything else. And I will include the autism awareness in there too. If you would like to pick that one, that's fine. So also, we had some new FOs, and they were so, I love them. There's two people made shawls with my, one made a shawl with my zombified colorway, and one made a shawl with my Kraken colorway, and I love those colors because I like bright colors with black together. I don't know, it's just, I'm just attracted to it. Anyway, well, the second shawl is in this month, so there were two people who were eligible for the FO thread last month, and the person who won was Summer Yarns. If you don't know Summer Yarns, you should go listen to her podcast. She has a podcast called Kitchen Stitches, and I make sure that I catch up on it every week because I know her personally. Summer, if you would PM me, let me know what $7 or less pattern you would like. You've won a pattern. And let's see. Oh, I will talk about the winner for the pattern for autism awareness at the end of the podcast. But what I wanted to do next is talk a little bit about my yarns, because I think everybody is familiar with superwash merino nylon yarn that watches my podcast, because I know there's a lot of sock knitters. And I love that, and that is a very soft yarn. I have a lot of fingering weight yarns. One of them is merino and silk. Merino and silk, that fingering weight yarn is a single, and that one would be good for knitting something like a shawl. I also have the Siren base, which you can use. That's the one with merino, nylon, and cashmere, and you can use that to knit socks because it has the nylon content, or you could use it to knit a shawl. And that one's really soft and squishy because it has a little bit of cashmere in it. And I also have the spider base, which I haven't put a lot of that in the shop yet, but that is the base that is my sock blank base, and I will be dyeing up some of those. I also have the Twilight base, which is the sparkle base, and that one has merino, nylon, and stellina, and that one is also soft. And then I also have the Wizard base, and I enjoy this one. It's funny, I haven't sold as much as I expected I would, but I'm wondering if people are not familiar with BFL. BFL and nylon blend is wonderful for socks. It's actually a stronger wool than merino, so it has a little bit more of a tooth to it, but it is a little bit stronger. So it's not as squishy and soft as some of the other yarns, but it is a wonderful yarn for making socks, and I really enjoy it. I know that my socks are going to be long, hard lasting with that. And I even knit one of my shawls out of that, and I'm actually kind of interested to see how that's going to block out. The one I really wanted to talk about is my DK base. Now, the DK base that I currently have, I actually have two of them in my shop right now. One of them is the Werewolf base, which I think a lot of you guys have purchased from me before. And that one is 400 yards. And the reason I picked that one is because it's a good workhorse yarn. Now, it's not as soft as any of the sock yarns, but it's also not rough like another yarn might be, like, what am I trying to think of? It's not rough like those rustic yarns, but it's also not squishy and soft like the superwash merino is. It's not superwash, and it's really meant for long, hard-wearing stuff. So I think it's perfect for sweaters, but if you were looking for a yarn that's more squishy and soft, I would not recommend that if that's what you want in a yarn, if you want it to be soft. I have another base in the shop. I only have one skein in it, and I am going to be dyeing up some more now that I have more time. And it is a 50% merino, 50% silk, and it has wonderful drape. I'm sure that would be lovely for sweaters, but it is more expensive because it's got a silk content. So that one I'm going to be dyeing up some more. And I have a new one that I have not brought in yet, but I will show you. I did dye some. I haven't ordered this one yet, but I am planning to have it available in the future. I dyed this. There, now you can see it. And I also knit a swatch and washed it, and it still looks wonderful. It kept the color very well. This one is merino, cashmere, and nylon, so it would be good for knitting socks. Some people may want to knit sweaters with it because it is really, really soft and squishy. So I'm going to have 3 DK weights available, but I wanted to let people know that the one that is the Werewolf base, it is not meant to be the softest yarn. It is meant to be a workhorse yarn. So I would probably maybe equate it to like a Cascade 220. You know, it's one of those yarns that it's not squishy soft like things with cashmere, but it is something that's sturdy and it will last. So whatever you make with it, it's going to last. And it's very springy too, so when you block it, it blocks out wonderfully. So, and it's also not superwash. And my thought is, when you knit a sweater, I mean, everybody's different, but I know superwash has more of a tendency to grow. So I think that the 100% wool, 100% merino would be better for a sweater, just because it doesn't grow as much. It tends more to bounce back when you wash it. So that's just my thought. But if you are looking for a squishy yarn to knit a sweater in, I would recommend requesting this one when it comes out, or the merino silk, but they are softer, but they are also more expensive because one has silk in it and one has cashmere, and they cost more. So this is the big thing I wanted to talk about, because I am going to try to put this in the shop as soon as possible. I have a lot of this. This is my new worsted weight yarn, and it is a 4-ply, and it is not superwash. Because like I said, I kind of feel like sweaters should not be knit in superwash, but like I said, that's my thoughts. I know a lot of people still knit them in superwash. So this is going to come in 218 yards, and it's worsted weight, and it's 4-ply, and it's a firm twist, so it should be perfect for making sweaters. And this one I also washed, but I didn't wash this one in the washing machine. This one is a superwash, so I did wash this in the washing machine, and it still held its color. Looks great. This one I washed with wool wash, because really that's what you should wash your sweaters with. And it still looks great, and it's nice and bouncy. So I wanted to tell you guys that this is coming, and gradients are coming. I have dyed up a bunch of stuff, and I am going to be putting... They're not going to be gradients as in this. They'll be more like color blocks, as people call them, you know, the different colors together. So I have some of those going up soon as I'm finished dyeing all of them and can put them all on the little mini skeins. So that's something to look forward to in the future. I haven't been doing a lot of reading. I have found that in the last couple of weeks, I guess since I was so busy, I didn't lose my knitting mojo, but I lost my reading mojo, so I haven't been reading a lot. I started reading a couple new books, but at this point I don't think I'm really going to go into them. Oh, I wanted to say that the Autism Awareness Knit-Along is still going on, and it finishes at the end of this month, and the person who won for this month from the FO thread, or the Autism Awareness thread, is Lemcoll, L-M-E-C-O-L-L, and you have won a $7 or less pattern, so PM me and let me know what you want. The prize for this month is a skein of Tempted yarn, and let me show you. It's really pretty. Hold on a second. I'm gonna have to go get it because I'm not an editor. I don't edit this podcast, so just bear with me. This is Tempted yarns, and I put a picture of it up on Instagram if you want to go and get a better feel for what the color is. It's a beautiful skein of yarn, but it's not my colors, so I thought it'd be wonderful to give it away. Somebody will love this. It is 50% superwash merino, 50% silk, and it says hand wash, machine or hand wash. You can machine wash it. It's 375 yards, 4 ounces, and I believe it's a DK. No, it says on a 1 to 3 needles, so maybe it's like a heavy fingering or a sport. But it's really lovely, and it has a nice twist to it. You can see that. And it's kind of a baby blue green color. It's pretty. And so this is what the winner for the Autism Awareness Knit-Along will win at the end of this month. So keep posting. Keep posting your stuff. I think it's kind of seems to slow down. Maybe people are thinking it's coming to an end, but keep posting, guys. We still have another month, this whole month left. And I also wanted to talk about my next knit-along. The next knit-along is going to start July 1st. I love this tea. And it is going to be called Knit, Dye, Spin. And it's going to be a little different from the other knit-alongs I've done. I wanted to do something different. I haven't really had any entries in the Autism Awareness for spinning or anything, and I like to spin, and next month starts Toward Fleece, and I'm gonna join the caffeinated knitting group for that. I think my goal will be to chain ply this blue gradient yarn that it's been sitting for like over a year, because I really want to chain ply it. I'm not that great at it, but if I don't practice, I'm not going to get better. So that's going to be my goal for Tour de Fleece, is to make sure that I chain ply that during the tour. So the knit dye spin, that kind of went off on a tangent there. Knit dye spin will be, I would like you to knit or crochet with hand spun. It can either be yours or somebody else's, or dye some yarn. You can do it with Kool-Aid dye, or you can do it with food coloring. You can do it with acid dyes, whatever you want. Or spin a braid of fiber. Spin. I'm going to say at least 4 ounces. So when July 1st starts, I'm going to open up a thread for that. So knit with hand spun, dye some yarn, or spin some fiber. And I'm going to run that from July through July and August. I have not decided on the prizes yet. Those of you who are indie dyers, or if you are a bag maker and you want to donate something for a prize for knit dye spin, let me know. Just contact me. I would love to help promote some other people. And yeah, so that's going to be the next knit along. And I also wanted to say thank you to so many of you who are so sweet and sent me condolences for my grandmother. My first grandmother passed away, and my other grandmother had a stroke recently, so that's why I was really happy that I was able to go and visit with her. They all live in the same town in Louisiana, which is where my parents met. I never lived in Louisiana, but my parents grew up there. I just wanted to say thank you. We have a lot of kind people in my group, and it makes me very happy. Thank you guys for saying that you sent me prayers or condolences. And there was one more thing I wanted to add. Well, I can't remember. Something popped into my head and then popped out. So I guess it's time to finish things up. I'm going to try to podcast as often as I can this summer. It may be every week, or it may be every other week. We'll see. I will podcast as much as I can, because I have more time to do that. And I know a lot of people are going to be podcasting less because they're going to be spending a lot of time with their children over the summer. So you can watch me. And I wanted to say my podiversary is coming up, and I will be doing something for that. I have an idea. I haven't decided yet. My podiversary is coming. My 2-year podiversary is coming up July 1st, in July. So I will be doing a giveaway for that. I have an idea, but I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do. So anyway, with that, I want to say get busy knitting or get busy dyeing.